Hi there, and thanks for joining me, Bryn Lucas, sharing Phil Spencer's latest advice for homeowners. In this episode, I'm looking at how you can flex the equity in your property to buy your next home or to free up some cash. Now, do remember that anything to do with mortgages can be quite complicated, so make sure you use an expert mortgage broker to guide you through the options. There's a link below that will connect you to our recommended mortgage advisors. Well, let's start with explaining exactly what equity is. Simply put, it's the difference between what you owe your lender and how much your home is currently worth. So if your home is worth more than the outstanding balance on your mortgage, you have equity in your home or are in positive equity. If your mortgage is more than your home is worth, you are in negative equity. It's easy enough to find your position. Check your mortgage statement or call your lender to find out how much you owe on your mortgage. Then ask a local estate agent to value your home or check its value online. But do bear in mind these online valuations are a rough guide only. Assuming you have equity in your home, how can you best use it? Well, the most common flex is to use it as a deposit for your next home. Let's say you have a £100,000 mortgage on a house worth $250,000. This means you have £150,000 equity in your home. So if you buy a house for 300 grand, your 150,000 equity can be used as a deposit, meaning you only need a mortgage for the remaining 150 grand. And because you'd only be borrowing 50% of the value of your new property, you'd be eligible for some of the cheapest mortgage rates on the market. This is because your loan to value would be low. Your loan to value, which you might see written as LTV, is the proportion of the property's value that you are borrowing as a mortgage. Each mortgage product comes with a maximum LTV, normally between 50 and 95%. And mortgage lenders typically offer the cheapest mortgages to borrowers with a lower LTV. In some cases, if you're downsizing, for instance, you might have enough equity to buy your next home outright. If we use the same example of selling your home for £250,000, but this time using £100,000 to pay off the mortgage and £150,000 to buy a smaller property or buy in a cheaper area, then you'd be mortgage free. However, you don't have to move house to access the equity in your property. You can use it to raise cash. In our example, you might remortgage your home for £150,000. £100,000 of this would pay off the old mortgage, leaving you £50,000 in cash for home improvements, to buy a car or pay off debts. In fact, you don't always have to remortgage. You could take out a further advance loan on your home from your existing mortgage lender and leave your current mortgage in place. But bear in mind, a further advance usually has a higher interest rate than a mortgage and will also be secured against your home, meaning if you fail to repay it, your home could be repossessed. Another option is to take out a second mortgage on your home with a different lender. This is known as a second charge mortgage, homeowner loan, or secured loan. Again, you need to know that you can keep up with your repayments to avoid getting into difficulties. Finally, equity release is a way for homeowners aged 55 or over to access some of the money tied up in their property without having to move house. You should think very carefully before borrowing against the equity in your home, as it will increase the amount you owe. Most people should aim to build up the equity in their property as much as possible to give you options for borrowing should you have a financial emergency such as losing your job. And building up the equity will make it quicker and easier to become mortgage-free eventually. Tune in next time for more expert advice on all things property related. Bye for now.